you're creating a detailed drawing of your project and you have some isometric paper, the best thing to do, I think, in starting your drawing after you have the sketch with rough dimensions on it, is to just place a point on your isometric grid where you're going to start, and probably at the bottom because you want to try to fill or make good use of that space. So ahead of time, I would have thought about how many of these squares, and this is a centimeter grid, but how many of these are going to represent 1 inch. And my side, this is the width right here, and this direction is going to be the front. So my width is 4. So I think using 2 of these squares per inch will work. So I'll just go ahead and kind of plan it out with my dot to dot, and it looks pretty good in that space. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2 squares per inch. Now if I had decided that this wasn't a very good size for filling this space, I would simply erase those dots and maybe try 3 squares per inch and see how that looks. But I'm going to stick with this. So now I kind of have a dot to dot. That was convenient, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and make my vertical line for my box, and then I'm just going to kind of connect everything. And notice that I'm on the isometric lines here, the diagonals, and I use those to help keep everything straight. And those dots should be light enough that you don't actually see them once you draw the line on it. Okay, then I want to add some detail to my project, and I'm going to have a drawer. So notice this is the bottom of the drawer, and notice that I am parallel with this line. So those diagonals help me to make the drawing look realistic. And this one is also parallel with the side, as a drawer would be, right? So there's my space for the drawer, and on top I'm going to have some open areas to place little things. So again, I'm parallel with those lines, but I'm showing the width of the piece, and then inside I'm going to divide it into parts. So this is, I can't just have a line, I have to actually have the width of that piece that will remain there, and I can erase those lines that overlap. Okay, and then I want to show some depth, so I draw a straight line going down, and then I want to stay parallel with the diagonal here. So I have one line going this way. Notice that I'm not on the line now. That's because I have to stay on the corner, but I am parallel to my isometric grid paper line. And now I show some depth in that top piece, and I do the same thing with this, and now this line should be exactly the same size as this if I intend for those cutout areas to be the same depth, which I do. Okay, and then the drawer needs a little depth, right? So I just put a line in here, and I won't see this one, it's hidden, and I can't see this one, that's hidden as well. So now I have a pretty good box or trinket drawing of my project, and then maybe I want to put my name on it, because one of the advantages of 3D printing is that I can go ahead and personalize it. Now I'm ready to add dimensions. So this is an important part of the detailed drawing, and the method of drawing those dimensions may be new to you. So let's take a look. I'm going to put in a dimension on the right side, right here. So notice this extension line, and that's the name for it, extends from the edge that it is measuring from. So from this edge, goes in the same direction to this edge. Again, the line is in the same direction. I draw a double-sided arrow, and then I can erase the middle and place my measurement. Okay, so nice and neatly, I have 3 inches in height on my shape. And next I'll show how about the side length. So here I have a similar line, And the extensions are in the same direction of the faces that they measure. And inside, I already had the line erased where I put my 4 inches. And then probably my length. Oh, it looks like I'm going to put in just the length of the drawer here first. And that is 3.5 inches. And the height of my drawer, now notice that these are actually crossing the outer piece to show that it is extended from the drawer. So it's from this bottom edge of the drawer on the side here to the top edge of the drawer. And this one is from the left side to the right side of the drawer. And what am I going to measure here? Looks like this is the line that's being extended. And to here is 2 inches, and then I already popped in this measurement, so 1 inch there. And here I have, oh look, this is different. Why do you suppose that is? Well, it's because it is intended to show the measurement or the dimension of this thickness. So this line extended, right, and this line extended, but there would not be enough room in here. So this is the way you show it if you have a narrow area that doesn't have the room for the dimension inside. I just point to the arrows from the outside facing each other, and then I can put in a text that says all border widths are 1/4 inch thick. Okay? Now I could simply say that it's 1/4 inch if all of these measurements were different, but since all of the thickness is intended to be the same, I just took advantage of that instead of having to write the width of all of these different pieces. Okay? And likewise, all depth of top extrusions, extrusion is cut in, are 1 3/8 inch, I say. And here I'm saying that this is going to be extruded inward 1/8 of an inch. So I believe I'm finished with my detailed drawing, and I need to ask myself, do I have everything that is necessary for someone else to take my drawing and be able to recreate what I have in mind here? Remember that I said that each inch is represented by 2 squares, right? Or the lengths of 2 squares. And right here I see, yep, if I were to put those together, that's about 2 squares, so 1 inch is accurate. And here I have a 1/4 inch thickness, 1/4 inch thickness, so together that's a 1/2 inch, and this is 3.5, so I can tell that that length is 4 inches just by adding those together. But look here. Right here I have from this line, 1, 2, there's an inch right there. This can't be an inch. There's 1.5, because one full square is a 1/2 inch. And then it looks like about another 1/2 of a square. So this needs to be 1 3/4, not 1 inch. So it does need to make sense. Do you see anything else wrong? For your project, your limited volume, or the number limit, if you multiply the length times the width times the height, is 27. Mine is 4 inches in length, 4 inches in width, and 3 inches in height. Will that work?